YouTube. It's Brian Phillips with an update today. We wanted to show you guys the awesome magnetic handles that we added. We have now 2 sets. So there you have it. And with an update, most of the trim work inside is getting, I would say we're about 75% done. We have cabinets installed and you're gonna see it in just a second. Okay, so as you guys can see, our homeless camp has mostly moved out. We've been evicting them. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk you through the house so you can kind of see the progress. The carpentry work has been done out here, so they got a huge mess. Have they seen the stairs?
Stairs? I think they saw the stairs, yep.
Okay, come on in, guys. So this is the style we're going with these 2 decorative pieces, and then the big piece, and then the side pieces, and of course, the door. They're all the same doors, with the exception of we're doing 2 glass doors. They don't even have this window trimmed. So the transoms aren't done, but the pocket doors are both installed, but they don't have all the guide hardware on. So that looks pretty awesome. We're happy with the way they work really well. It's just with pocket doors, there's also got to be a piece over here. So we haven't actually seen this in daylight yet, but the island is going to be just like it sits, except there'll be another finished piece here, and then there'll be a granite overhang here, and then an overhang there, and then there'll be a dishwasher here, and then obviously our stove's going to go here, and there'll be a range hood. Cabinets here, fridge here, stuff's pretty obvious. This is the extension of the kitchen, so it's easier to visualize how this is all going to work now that you're seeing it all in one piece. And then there'll be the banquette here. So it's really exciting to see it all come together, because every time we show up there's something new. This is the part of the trim. And then where did we leave those samples? There's a piece. They redid one little piece. So basically this is what goes up and down. And then so this is not going to be like that. That's going to be just finished up with pieces that are a little bit thicker than this. And this will run all the way to the top, and this will be just like all the rest of the doors on the top. So we're real happy with the way it looks. The one thing I can say is, coming from a house with oak trim and like a real hardwood trim, seeing like MDF, it's gonna look good when it's done, but it's just kind of like, really, is that the best we could do? But come on in. So this is, I think you guys have seen this room, but this is the way the windows are gonna look.
Hold on, I'm trying to brighten it up a little bit so they can actually see it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay.
The exposure gets all screwed up. It's so bright in this room. But this is the way that the rest of the rooms are going to be finished. And then I think they saw this last time.
Yep.
I'm not sure that they saw this though.
Yeah, I can't remember now.
So there's going to be obviously handles on these. So it's going to match the hardware from that. And anybody who can read that, which I'm sure there's somebody that can read that, tell everybody what it means.
Glass. That'll be a glass door.
Okay.
Hey, wait, let's show them the cabinets in the pantry before we go too far out of here.
Oh yeah, and then the pantry, sorry guys.
Whoops. Trim everywhere.
So we're gonna have a second fridge in here, and then probably a 3rd fridge in the basement, but we're not 100% sure on that.
Yeah.
And then we have an over-the-range microwave that'll probably be coming with us. And if not, then we'll just have a microwave on one of our mini shelves. We're gonna have a bunch of shelves on this side.
This back wall.
And then that way we can have pantry style storage here. And then we'll have a little bit more storage up above on either side flanking the fridge.
Yep.
So that's the idea, is with a family of 6, you got lots of stuff. And our pantry in the basement now is pretty big. So we're gonna keep going through. Front door, nothing's changed yet. They haven't trimmed that. And they haven't trimmed the big windows, but they did trim the big slider. And then this may change slightly to accommodate a rail system for the barn door. And the same goes with this one, because these are going to be barn doors. So usually a piece of trim goes behind the hardware, And then the barn door hooks onto the top, and it's got wheels that allow it to roll back and forth. And then this will be like the audio video closet. So we're gonna run rails up and down, and then the shelves will be adjustable just like a piece of furniture. And then in here, this is just a coat closet, so it'll just be a simple shelf. So if you wanna come over here, let's give them a different view.
Yeah.
From like back here. Maybe if you stand in the hallway and you shine out there, and look up some so they can see up. Here, let me see that. Okay guys, so from this spot here, boop, to right up there, that's 16 foot. So we have lots of room for flying. It's gonna be awesome. And then down here, of course, we have the stairway's not obviously finished yet, but there's gonna be a railing, which is for scaredy cats and people with children. And then there'll be a big fan that hangs out of a box here. So we'll be able to simulate windy days.
Oh, great.
And then the front door, this film has been on here and it drives me crazy. I so badly want to peel this film off, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna be patient for once. So it's hard to get the scale when you're just standing here. But, okay, so we're going down the hallway. Do you wanna take over, camera woman?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things about, okay, so we'll just show them the bedrooms since they're done real quick. Well, the trim is not done on the base, but the trim above the doors and above the windows is done. And they have a little bit of minor, like sanding and stuff to do. I think they have a lot of it done, but they're gonna do some more fine tuning on each of these edges to try to mimic the roundness so that they all look the same. And then of course your primer and your paint's gonna make up the difference. And then, so this is where our kids will share a room, one set of kids. And then this, of course, is the linen. And then we got, through some connections Megan has, we got some cabinets that were, like this one has one little scratch on it, which she says was there when we got it, I guess. And then we got these cabinets.
Nice and tall.
And they're gonna have a shelf that goes across and then something to hang clothes because there'll be a laundry here. So it's gonna, yeah, washer and dryer. And then we did an exhaust fan in there. Some people think that's crazy because you're sort of exhausting the nasty stuff already with the dryer. But I disagree. I want to get the moisture out of there if it's a hot day for sure. Okay, so this is another shared bedroom for the kids. And as you can see, it's super bright in here. Same situation. They just happen to have a little bit bigger closet. And they have a closet system that we got through Megan's special connection. And it's gonna be pretty cool because those things are super expensive. So it'll go in there. We'll show you when that gets done. And then down the hall, you can see the thermostat, which incidentally, I wonder if that'll turn on. The other room you sort of saw, there's trim in here on the base, which is kind of cool. Because you haven't seen the base, so there's the base. I mean, the base trim is not super exciting, but it certainly helps to complete the room, which this is the most complete room. And of course, there's like 4 pieces that need to be done, because why would anything
Not
be?
totally complete.
Come on in, I'll close the door so they can see
Okay.
kind of what it looks like. I know some of you guys are probably thinking, good Lord, how many times are you going to show us the same thing? That's just part of a build update. I don't know what to tell you. We come in here, we look at all the same things. We notice different things every time we come here. Different things that need to be fixed. So these are the big windows, and then obviously the tray ceilings. So we'll have a ceiling fan and 2 different light circuits. So I can't wait to be out here. It's gonna be so cool. And then the master bathroom. Don't forget the loogie on the door. That's disgusting.
I think it's salsa.
It's also, it's not a loogie.
It's not.
So come on
here.
in. This is one point of contention we're having, is that this cabinet, as awesome as it is, and we put soft close on the doors, so it's like takes 3 hours for the doors to close. But one point of contention that we've been figuring out is that this thing is huge, and we don't know what to make of it. We don't know if we want to give up being able to see that window, even though that window you see the roof of the deck. And so we can't figure out if we want to try to like cut this off and just limit this to being only about 1/3 as deep because you can't reach in as good, and then you kind of regain some of that visibility, or if we just leave it and it's going to look great when it's done. These are the woes of building a house. It's just little details, and when you get this invested in a project, it's really hard not to care, and we both do care. You may have noticed. So of course this is gonna be the shower, guys. If we haven't mentioned it, or if you're just tuning into the channel, this is gonna be the shower. It's gonna be a tile shower, tile floor. Originally we were gonna have a pan. They ordered the wrong side, so they gave us a great deal on doing the tile floor, and so we went with it. And then there'll be a glass door that opens hinged here. And then there'll be glass that goes, not floor to ceiling, but I think it goes to like 72 inches maybe.
Yeah, something like
And
that.
then it's gonna go over here. And then obviously, I don't know if you guys can tell, but my foot is underneath this area here. So that's gonna be storage for towels and things like this. And then this will all be glassed in, and we have, of course, 2 shower controls, the choke shower
Yeah,
controls.
come.
So the shower controls will be here and here, and that way you can open the door, reach in, and you can make control for the different areas, get things warmed up, do what you're gonna do. But we did actually pay a little extra to have hot water recirculation lines drawn. I don't think we're actually paying them to put in the pump because
Right.
they wanted like $500 or $600, and I said I can get one for $200. So anyway, the other thing is, while you're looking at this, this was one of the technical issues we ran into, is that being that this is gonna be a shower, and we have all these components behind here, we just don't know exactly how much complication we're gonna run into. Hopefully we never have a leak or anything. But this goes straight to the main room, and normally you would insulate these walls because a shower next to a living space, a lot of times the architects will tell you to insulate. And so we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do on that, but we ran Smurf tubes for our own cabling that will take us from like a flat panel TV if we do that. We don't have a flat panel TV now, but if we get one later, we've got it wired in for that. And then of course, that's just one of like 4,000 things that you have to try to figure out before you know the answer to the question. And they already used our Smurf tube up for all the surround sound wiring and things like this. So we had to add a second one. And so we actually had a video showcasing that a while back. So any of the process during this build process, you can go back and see. If you just check on the playlist, guys. I do this for all the airplanes I review, all the helicopters, different things. Sometimes I only have one video for an item. But most of the time, and sometimes there's like 50 or 60 videos for one item. And if you check on that, just go to the playlist under my my channel, and then you can look at all the different videos. Sometimes there's a build process I go through, and then sometimes there's just, you know, like an unboxing and a build, and then there's, you know, the maiden flight, and then there's like after I added lights or whatever. Same thing with this project. You can pretty much watch it from when we were looking at the land till now, which is really cool for us as a family to be able to go back and look. So if these videos seem boring to you, don't worry, we're gonna like them. Without further ado, let's run downstairs and show them
Hold
the
on.
basement.
Show them the closet.
Oh,
because there's stuff
closet.
in the master
Oh,
now.
Yeah, that's right. You
Before we
guys
go
haven't
downstairs.
seen this.
Our awesome
So these are
sweater boxes.
So this is where you put your numerous
All your sweaters that you wear
And then
lots
you can
of.
put more sweaters here, and then if you run out of room, there's more room for more sweaters. And then some more
What if
sweaters.
you run out of room? There's more
So the
sweaters
whole
over
idea
here.
is that this will also give us a place to run our towel bar, or not towel bars. What are they
Like
called?
just hanging
Hanging
rods.
area. And
Yeah.
We're gonna do tall hanging area here. And then right here, between this line and between this line, we have 24-inch on center trusses. So there's gonna be a 22.5-inch gap. And we're gonna get a stair access that you can pull down to get into the attic. And you're probably thinking, well, why would you wanna put that in here? Yeah, in a cold climate, that would not be ideal, but we split the house in half. The attic space is 2 different unique places now, unless you're about this tall and you can squeeze between the truss work to get on the other side. And they filled that all with insulation, so it's pretty much stuffed. And then, I mean, soffit vents are in there, of course. But when we pull this down, we fought and drew and did all sorts of planning to try to make sure that we would have clearance to have that thing come down. Luckily, it's not a super high ceiling. The one in the garage is 11.6. This one here is only going to be like 9.1. So it's a significantly less high attic access stairway, but it's significantly more expensive because we try to get one with some insulation that's built in. And then knowing me, I'll have some sort of a monstrosity that's also mounted on top of it, so we can really try to insulate it here. We have a shower here. We have an attic access here. For those of you in northern climates, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It gets really cold in the attic during the winter. During the summer, it's maybe not as big a deal because the heat rises and it goes out the soffit vents. But during the cold times of the year, like this week when it was minus 20 something, you want this cold to not be associating with this warm, because the warm will go up and it will avoid going into the exhaust vent and it will go right over. And so that's why we're gonna have a window here. So the window might look kind of weird, but that's what happens when the builder doesn't put a wall in after you ask him 5 times. You put in a window for free instead. So we're gonna go downstairs and show you the little bit of mechanical stuff that changed, just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, while we were walking by, we wanted to show you the deck. Obviously, things are thawing out. We went through like a freeze, polar vortex, which is what weathermen speak for. There's nothing else going on.
It's just cold.
It was kind of a big deal. It was really cold. I was driving, it was minus 26 one night when I was coming home, and the wind chill was significantly higher. So the exposure gets destroyed when you look out a window like this, but just to show you the deck as it's thawing out, it's kind of cool to see these things. I know we took you out on that deck, but then show them the stairway. The stairway, I'm waiting for the exposure to get right. These guys have to work on the windows, and so obviously they have to build the scaffolding. So we're gonna pause it as we go down the stairs.
Okay.
All right, guys, come on down. So this one's gonna be a glass door as well. When we designed this house, we designed it to actually have an opening down here. So this wall actually was gonna stop. This was gonna stop here, and then there'd be a gap and you'd be able to look into an open stairway. And that was gonna be really cool. But the trouble is, we have 4 children and it would be really loud upstairs. And we just said, what are we thinking? So we quickly pivoted, added a door, and then we said, well, I don't want it to be basement-y down here. So we said, we'll do a glass window, we'll do a transom above, and then come around. You guys have already seen this if you've been following the build process, so I hate to be redundant, but that's part of a build update. This is gonna get cut out probably this week. They're gonna set it up just like the other windows, but we may not have as much trim on it just for the sake of, as you run your hand down the handrail, you don't wanna have a pinch point if it's really tight. So we're gonna evaluate that. Maybe we'll do the same decorative detail. Instead of being an inch, it'll be like ½ an inch out. But we want them to match, we want everything to match. And then I think we're gonna probably finish this wall with drywall, and then we'll have that finished. It won't be totally textured or anything like that. I think they're just gonna cover it with drywall. So, and then nothing's really changed over here except for the floor is clean. We did that the other day. That was amazingly horrific. The air quality was horrible. I couldn't believe it. Okay, come through here. And then what happened was, we've been doing this whole drain scenario where we run everything to the sump pit, and we found out that our sump pit was not discharging to anywhere. It was discharging out. It goes through here underground, and then over all the way, and then it shoots out the side of the foundation. Ironically, you guys can watch that in a video if you're really interested. And then it goes to nothing. So that was supposed to be tied into our septic system somehow. I'm not sure how or why or what, but the point is they didn't discharge it in a way that would actually run the water out. So it was just spinning the water around in the sump pit, and it took me multiple calls to get my builder to fix it. So after he did finally realize, oh wow, it's not actually evacuating the water, they came in and did this because it's 42 degrees right now, and it was 70 degrees colder this week. So we've had a 70-degree swing. That means that we're gonna probably get water, but it may not go in the sump pit. If it doesn't go in the sump pit, I will be thrilled. But the point is, they ran a temporary line, and look how nice they did this, guys. I'm like, geez, this is temporary. And they built a temporary thing, put it in the corner behind everything. I thought, that is awesome. And they put this up through the window, and my builder and I came up with this idea to keep some level of security. I mean, if somebody wants in, they're one rock from getting in, let's just be real. Put the foam in, and then they ran a discharge pipe out. You wanna come over here so they can see this? I know the exposure is gonna go bye-bye. We had to insulate this gap, but then if you look out there, I'm gonna go run it for the people.
Is there anything in there?
I don't think there's a lot in there, but I'm gonna try it.
Okay, we'll find out.
Okay, are you guys ready to live? Did anything come out?
Just a little.
Oh, that was disappointing.
Sorry, it's kind of anticlimactic.
So guys, that's it for today. The build extravaganza continues. You probably don't realize this by now, except that I've told you every single time. This build is really exciting. It's a huge blessing. But anybody who's been through it knows it's a huge pain in the butt. We're going to be very glad to have our lives back. This is, we've had 4 children. Honey, is this more or less intrusive to your life than pregnancy?
More, way more.
Way more.
I would rather
agree.
have 4 more children.
Yeah, it's pretty intrusive. Now, if you didn't have a healthy child, it'd be a little different. But for this time, we're really excited. The kids are gonna love it. We're gonna love it. You guys are gonna love it. You don't know it yet, but you love it. Check the links in the description below. We really want you guys to help us support if you can. If you can't, we get it. You know, if you want to go on there and buy like, 100 discrete hard drives or some crazy thing, you're gonna go buy an airplane kit, like a real one, full-scale airplane kit. Just go through Amazon links, help us out, guys. But if you don't, we're just glad you're here with us. Thanks for watching. We have tons of cool footage coming up. Just wait till the spring. We're gonna be doing some cool stuff. In fact, I've got a very interesting little project coming possibly this weekend. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys. Come back for more.